Prepare to stare, unveiling the shadows of fear on Fear Files.
The sun climbed higher, casting its golden rays through the trees of the Whispering Woods, now a serene place devoid of the dark whispers that had plagued it. Alex, Sarah, Lisa, and Mark walked back toward the edge of the forest, their steps lighter, but their hearts heavy with the memories of what they had endured. Their faces were marked with exhaustion. There was also a glimmer of triumph in their eyes. They had broken the curse and freed Jacob Fisher's tormented spirit. However, the lingering effects of their ordeal were beginning to make themselves known. As they reached the forest's edge, the landscape of the small town came into view. It looked the same as it had before they entered the woods, yet something felt different, more vibrant, more alive. The locals who had warned them against venturing into the woods were waiting anxiously, their faces lit up with a mix of relief and astonishment as the group emerged. "You made it!" Mrs. Thompson exclaimed, her eyes welling up with tears. "We feared the worst." "We broke the curse," Alex said, his voice weary but strong. "Jacob Fisher is free." The townsfolk murmured in awe and gratitude, crowding around the group with a mixture of admiration and curiosity. But the victory was bittersweet. Despite their triumph, the memories of their harrowing journey haunted them, and they knew the forest's dark history would forever be a part of them. Later, in the quiet sanctuary of Sarah's home, the friends gathered to process their experiences. The cozy living room, with its warm light and comfortable furniture, was a stark contrast to the oppressive darkness they had faced in the spirit realm. Sarah sat on the couch, cradling a cup of tea. Her mind was still reeling from the encounter with her brother's spirit. "I never thought I'd have to face him like that," she said quietly, her eyes distant. "But maybe it was what I needed to finally let go." Lisa nodded, her own eyes haunted by the visions of fire and loss. "We all faced something terrible in there, but we came out stronger. We didn't let the darkness win." Mark, who had been quiet since their return, finally spoke up. "Do you think it's really over? That the forest is truly at peace now?" Alex, always the pragmatic one, leaned forward. "The curse is broken, but that doesn't mean the forest will forget what happened there. It's a part of its history now, and ours too. But we did what we set out to do. We gave Jacob Fisher peace." The room fell silent, each of them lost in their thoughts. The weight of their journey pressed down on them, but so did a sense of accomplishment. They had survived the Whispering Woods and its trials, and now it was time to face the aftermath. The next few days were a blur of interviews and meetings with the town council. The story of their adventure spread quickly, and soon the small town was buzzing with talk of the brave group who had ventured into the haunted forest and broken the curse. The townsfolk treated them like heroes, but the group remained humble, knowing the true cost of their victory. One evening, as the sun dipped below the horizon, casting the town in a warm golden light, Sarah stood at the edge of the forest, looking out at the trees that had once filled her with dread. The forest seemed different now, more welcoming, less menacing. She could almost feel Jacob's presence, a gentle, guiding force rather than the tormented spirit he had been. As she turned to leave, she noticed something glinting in the fading light. She walked over and picked it up, a small, intricately carved stone, warm to the touch. She recognized the symbols on it. They were the same ones from Eliza's grimoire. She brought the stone back to her friends, who were gathered around a fire in the backyard. "Look at this," she said, holding out the stone. "I found it at the edge of the forest." Alex examined the stone, his brow furrowed. "It's one of the stones from the ritual site, but what's it doing here?" Lisa, ever the believer in the supernatural, suggested, "Maybe it's a sign, a reminder of what we did, or a message from Jacob thanking us." Mark, who had been skeptical from the start, looked at the stone thoughtfully. "Or maybe it's a warning that the forest still has secrets we don't know about." The group fell silent, pondering the significance of the stone. Their journey into the Whispering Woods had changed them, each in different ways. They had faced their deepest fears and come out stronger, but the forest had left its mark on them. In the days that followed, they noticed subtle changes in themselves. Alex, always the leader, found himself more attuned to the emotions and needs of those around him. Sarah, who had carried the burden of her brother's death for so long, felt a newfound sense of peace and closure. Lisa, who had feared losing everything, discovered a resilience she hadn't known she possessed. And Mark, the skeptic, began to see the world with a sense of wonder and possibility. But with these changes came new challenges. The forest, though at peace, still held its mysteries, and the group couldn't shake the feeling that their journey wasn't entirely over. The stone Sarah had found seemed to pulse with a life of its own, and they knew it was connected to something deeper, something they had yet to understand. One night, as they gathered around the fire once more, Alex spoke up. "We've been through a lot, and we've changed. But I think there's more to this than just breaking a curse. The forest is still calling to us." Sarah nodded, her eyes reflecting the firelight. "I feel it too. There are still secrets out there, waiting to be uncovered. And I think we're meant to find them." Lisa and Mark exchanged glances, their faces a mixture of apprehension and excitement. "Are you saying we should go back?" Mark asked, his voice hesitant. "Not just yet," Alex said. "But I think we need to be ready. The Whispering Woods may have more to reveal, and when the time comes, we need to be prepared to face it." The group sat in silence, the fire crackling and the night air cool around them. They had faced the darkness within the forest and within themselves, but their journey was far from over. The Whispering Woods had become a part of their lives, and they knew that whatever lay ahead, they would face it together. As the fire burned low and the stars twinkled overhead, they made a silent pact. They would be ready for whatever the forest had in store, ready to uncover its secrets and face its challenges. The Whispering Woods had tested them, but it had also forged an unbreakable bond between them. And as they sat together, the stone Sarah had found pulsing gently in the light of the dying fire, they knew that their story was only just beginning. Thank you for braving the unknown with us. Until next time, stay haunted.